Now, the readings that I want you to buy are listed on the syllabus. I do want to note that there'll be readings in this course that I'll post on Blackboard Learn, like I'm going to post Jacob's. You can find the incidents very easily on Google, but I'm going to post a PDF of it you can use, but you don't have to use it. And so there's readings I want you to buy. When I can get to campus, I'll put some of those on reserve. I really worked hard thinking about these readings, and at the suggestion of Michael McDonald, one of our really top second-year grad students, changed the order around a little bit this summer, which is why there was some confusion about the book orders. But I'm very pleased with the readings, and I think they'll teach you a lot. We're going to be doing readings about historical memory. We're going to be doing readings about the one of the hot things in history now, hot areas, which I'm very much involved in, which is transnational history. We'll be reading on cultural history, African American history, women's studies. So we're going to be looking at various kind of schools, I guess you would say, of history. There's a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different areas of specialty that you can choose when you're being a historian. Now, let me say that I'm a Civil War historian. I study the Civil War era. And for the most part, I chose books having to do with the Civil War era, especially questions about slavery. Um, the reason for that is, but I want to make a point, this isn't a course on the Civil War era. This is not a course on slavery or anything of the sort. It's just I wanted to give you examples of different types of history and different ways of approaching history, but I'm doing it by assigning you books that are kind of in my field. I know a lot of you, maybe most of you, don't care that much about the Civil War. Some of you do, but I know other folks are into European history and Asian history and don't care at all about the Civil War. That's okay. What you're learning in this course is transferable. That's the point that I want to make. So even if you're reading about historical memory and an Indian massacre, the Sand Creek Massacre, which we'll be reading, what you're really learning about is the question of historical memory. And the Sand Creek Massacre is just the example, but you can transfer this expertise on how memory is created. You can transfer it really to almost any field of history. So that's one of the things I really want to get across in this podcast. The readings that we're doing are a lot of them are based on my area of expertise, but especially when it comes to interpretation, these skills are transferable to any area of history, and of course that's true of methods as well. Now, what you'll do, there's going to be a lot of writing in this class, and I'm a big believer in reaction papers, which are what did I make? Reaction papers. I've got the syllabus in front of me. My brother might be bringing his family to live with me for a while because his house is flooding. Anyway, so the reaction papers are 30% of the grade. And you have a reaction paper due on September 11th. And really what the reaction paper is, it's a two-page paper, and I'll give you a prompt. I'll do that maybe this week. You have a couple of weeks to do this, so there's not a big hurry. Where you write a two-page reaction to a question that I ask about the reading. I think there's 4 reaction papers in this course. You can get a lot done in 2 pages. More importantly, I can do a lot of diagnosis about students' writing in 2 pages as well. It's pretty amazing how much your writing can improve just based on me editing a 2-page paper. So the first reaction paper, and again I'll post the question in a couple of days, is due September 11th. It's a 2-page reaction to the reading of Gordon Reed and the Jacobs. The other course assignments, there's something called discussion questions. And one of the real keys to a grad course is that students do the reading and they come into class prepared to talk. There's nothing worse, really, than a class where people haven't done the reading. It's so obvious. It's embarrassing for everybody. Time just drags. It just stinks. So in order to keep everybody honest, there are going to be weeks where you won't write a reaction paper, but you're going to bring in typed discussion questions about the reading that show that you have familiarity with the reading. And so that's what that is for, and you get graded on that. There are other issues or other things that you're going to be graded on, and a lot of those have to do more with the methods part of the course rather than the interpretation. A citation assignment where it's crazy. I just learned this in the last year or so. Knowing how to do footnotes, although it seems super tedious and super boring and maybe something you should have known in 10th grade or something, I still struggle with footnotes, to be honest with you. Um, Knowing how to do footnotes right, it really helps create historical literacy. I taught a methods course again with Mike McDonald, and we were just amazed. We got tired of undergrads at UTSA not knowing basic citation skills, and so we just really focused on footnotes. And it was amazing that the students, they hadn't really been taught it. You couldn't really blame them because they really hadn't been taught citation skills. And I'm not saying this is true of you guys at all. But more importantly, from a pedagogical point of view, what I realize is by knowing how to do citation skills, it really is a foundation for historical literacy. It's very, very important. So anyway, that's kind of where I am now with that. So there'll be a citation assignment, although I'll be talking about citations all the way along the line, especially when I give the prompt question for the first reaction paper. Oral presentations on the topics that you choose. You'll be choosing a topic to research towards the end of the semester, and you can talk to me about that. You have a pretty wide range of topics that you can work with, and then you're going to talk about those topics in classes. And then the class is going to end in a crescendo in an annotated bibliography that you turn in based on your topic, where you discuss your primary and secondary evidence. And that is worth 20% of your grade, and that's due on December 11th. A couple of important dates. October 24th, I think, is the last day that you can withdraw the course from this course with a W. Yeah, it's Tuesday, October 24th. That's not that common in grad school, but it does happen. Stuff happens in people's lives. I had a wonderful student, Air Force vet, that had to drop out about 5 or 6 years ago just for personal reasons. And she didn't drop out. She had to withdraw from the program. And then she came back and got her degree, and it was great to see her. So, if stuff comes up in your life, and so if things are overwhelming you, whatever, family, work, whatever, go ahead and take advantage of that October 24th W. You don't want an F on that will kill you in a grad program. An F just ends your grad career, period. It's over if there's an F on your transcript. So if you're really struggling and I don't expect this to happen, and I think it's not going to be because of the coursework, it's going to be because of other factors, especially, family, work, that kind of thing, personal factors. Go ahead and take the W. I know it's going to cost you money, but it's better than an F. And then the last day to drop all classes with a W is December 4th, 2017, and that's very rare for grad students, but I just want you to know that that's out there.